Hello everyone, I'm Palutena. Today we're going to be talking about classical mythology and how it manifests within Kid Icarus Uprising. Kid Icarus Uprising is a game for the Nintendo 3DS, directed by Masahiro Sakurai, published by Nintendo. It is set in a world loosely based on classical mythology, which is what we're here to talk about. But first, it seems my local angel intern missed the memo for this meeting. Let me see if I can go find him. Pit? Psst, Pit!
What? Oh. Sorry.
Did you forget about the thing we were doing today?
What thing?
Here, let me go back a slide.
Oh yeah, I did forget. And I remember why I forgot too.
What? You were really excited to do this when I first suggested it.
Yeah, but then I did some research.
That's legitimately surprising.
And it turns out we aren't original at all. Pretty downer thing to realize if you ask me.
Wow. You know, I'd expect this kind of attitude from Patu, not from you.
Well, maybe he's rubbing off on me.
You know, nothing is original, Pit.
That's supposed to make me feel better.
And because nothing is original, everything is.
Okay, you stop making sense.
You see, human culture is largely based on reinventing ideas. Old ideas are spun into new ideas constantly. But the fact that a new idea was once an old idea doesn't make the new idea any less new. Here, I'll show you. We'll start with you, Pit. Because of the name of the game, I started by looking at the story of Icarus. However, there don't appear to be many similarities.
There aren't?
Nope. Outside of the wings and Icarus's age, there isn't much else.
Oh.
You seem surprised, Pit. I thought you did research.
Well, I, looked at your notes. And by that I mean the list of our names next to the Greek ones. Didn't get much further than that.
Pit. Well, in light of the fact that you and Icarus are nothing alike, are you feeling any better about your originality?
Wasn't there a second name next to mine on that list? Tell me about him first.
Well, I was thinking you might be based on Hermes as well.
Hermes?
Yes, he was well known for being a messenger of the gods, kind of like you. He also had winged shoes that allowed him to move quickly, also kind of like you. Well, the wing bit anyway. Zeus sent Hermes on many errands on his behalf, similar to the way I always send you on my errands.
Alright, these comparisons are officially making me feel worse.
Stop being such a grump. Your similarities to Hermes are more of a conceptual inspiration than the two of you actually being the same character. After all, you two went on vastly different journeys. Hermes never had to stop an alien invasion, and you never had to kill a 100-eyed beast in order to save a cow.
What?
It was one of the many things Hermes had to do for Zeus. You can read more about it in Apollodorus's Bibliotheca.
Oh, guess me and Hermes are pretty different, huh?
Feeling any better about your originality now?
I mean, I guess.
Sure, you may be based on Hermes and Icarus, but angels aren't exactly a new concept either. Neither is the narrative of a perky hero with a largely positive outlook on life. But what is new is the way all these things were combined together to make you.
Alright, I guess you have a point. Why do you keep mentioning Icarus, though? I thought you said we were almost nothing alike.
Well, there is, one similarity of note.
Let's see. It says that Icarus flew too close to the sun, the wax holding his wings together melted, and he fell into the ocean and died? Oh man, is this why my wings burn up if I use the power of flight for too long?
Probably yes.
That's so lame! Not only am I based on this guy, but I've got stupid flight powers because of him too!
Here, let's move on to something a little less depressing. Take a guess, Pit. Who do you think I'm based on?
I don't know, actually.
I thought you looked at my notes.
I may have only focused on my name and forgotten about everyone else.
Well, I believe I am based on the goddess Athena.
Really?
Yes, I may be no goddess of war, but I would consider myself rather wise. Plus, one of Athena's names is Pallas Athena. If you put those two words together, Palutena, Palutena.
Oh!
Athena was also well known for guiding heroes on their quests. She helped Jason in his quest for the Golden Fleece, and she gave Heracles the idea and the means to startle the Stymphalian birds so he could shoot them down easier. She also played a large guiding role in helping Perseus defeat Medusa.
Hey, that's kind of like us.
Exactly!
Hey, speaking of Medusa, how does she compare?
What, now you're all excited? I thought you were grumpy about the fact we're all based on classical mythology.
Well, this is kind of interesting.
All right. In the original Greek, Medusa was something called a gorgon, and she had snakes for hair.
Oh, like ours.
Who had the power to turn people into stone.
Oh, not like ours. But good thing, huh? Imagine if she could turn me to stone. It'd be totally unfair.
It would have made her a frustrating boss battle, that's for sure.
Anyway, you said Athena helped Perseus defeat her, right? Just like you helped me.
That's true. It's also said that Athena was the one who transformed Medusa into her hideous shape, the same way I'm responsible for our Medusa's appearance. This appearance, anyway.
Why did you transform Medusa into a monster again?
I wanted her appearance to reflect the monster that lived in her heart. It seemed like a fitting punishment for the crimes she'd enacted on the world. Which is a better reason than Athena had, if you ask me.
Oh, why did Athena have it out for Medusa?
Because Medusa claimed to be prettier than her.
Seriously?
I know, right? Talk about petty. Anyway, as you can clearly see, we're not 100% like our Greek counterparts. The Greek myths just served as building blocks to create new ideas. And those new ideas were us.
That's really neat, actually. I'm glad I stuck around to listen to you about this.
Me too.
Hey, what about some other characters from our game? How do they compare?
Who are you thinking about?
How about Bree?
Unfortunately, I couldn't find anything in classical mythology about her.
Aww.
She may be based on Demeter, or perhaps Artemis, but more likely she's based on the Western Mother Nature, so nothing Greek about her.
What about Batu?
Nothing in classical mythology about evil mirror clones either.
Oh, come on!
I've got some info about Pandora if you'd like.
Fine.
Pandora is largely talked about in works by Hesiod. She's referenced in the Theogony, though not by name, and her story is told in Works and Days.
What's she like? Powerful goddess of calamity, all of that?
Nope.
What?
She's not a goddess at all. According to the myth, she's the first woman in all creation. When she was created, she was given a box, or a jar, depending on the translation, that contained all of the horrors of mankind. She was instructed to never open the—
Okay, wait. Hang on. Are you telling me she's not the goddess of calamity? She's not this big fireball-looking thing?
Nope. Our Pandora is really nothing like the Greek Pandora. Like I said, pieces of Greek lore were picked apart and used as building blocks to create something new.
Yeah, but our Pandora got none of those building blocks.
Here, let's look at a story besides our own and see how Pandora is portrayed in that.
Oh! What will we be looking at?
Another video game series called God of War. Now, I really didn't have enough time to play through the entire series before this presentation. So, most of this information I just pulled from the internet. In God of War, Pandora is an automaton made by Hephaestus, who views her as his daughter. She also is the key to opening Pandora's box.
So she's a lot like the original myth, then?
More than our Pandora, that's for sure. But the original Pandora was the first woman in all creation, made as a punishment for mankind's theft of fire. And she was human, not an automaton, and the ways God of War repurposes the narrative of the box are frankly more than we have time to cover here.
Oh, I gotcha. So, God of War took bits of her lore about being created by the gods, as well as the whole idea of the box, and used those pieces of lore to build a new character, as well as a huge overarching narrative. Just like you said, Lady Palutena. Like building blocks.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, our Pandora,
Honestly, I'm not sure what our story kept of Pandora's origins.
Looks like none of it. But I guess that's understandable, since she was really only in 2 chapters of the entire game.
True.
Hey, is there anyone else like this?
Like what?
Like, that also appear in other stories in really cool ways.
Well, there's a lot, actually. We'll just focus on one more, though, and that's
Hades.
Aw, there's no need to be such a grump about him, Pit.
You expect me to be excited after all Hades has done to us? He tried to kill us and take over the world, and he was taking the souls of the dead and sticking them in a blender to create monsters! I think he was eating souls too? Which, ugh.
I know, but
He was messing with the natural order of things and completely disregarding every law the underworld ever had.
yes, and that's what makes him so interesting.
Excuse me?
You see, in the original Greek, Hades wasn't so antagonistic. Was he uncaring? Maybe, but evil? Absolutely not. He was still charged with ruling over the underworld and taking care of souls, but he did his job as he was supposed to, and didn't often interfere with the affairs of mortals or other gods.
Man, I wish our Hades had been more like that. Sure would have saved us a lot of trouble. Or prevented it entirely in a lot of cases.
I know, right?
Does our Hades have anything in common with the original?
Nope. It looks like all of the Hades lore was just tossed out the window. The only thing that ours remained was Lord of the Underworld and Protector of Souls.
Huh. Anyway, does Hades show up in any video games? You were going to talk about that too, right?
I was. He was in plenty of video games, but what I wanted to look at was a movie, actually. Disney's Hercules.
Oh!
To keep it brief, Disney's Hercules is set in ancient Greece, and pulls a lot from classical mythology. Most of the pantheon shows up, and it loosely follows the life of Hercules, and, well, we'd be here all day if I tried to explain the whole movie.
Yeah, and we've kind of been here long enough. So, tell us about Hades.
This Hades is much closer to the original than our Hades is. He rules over the underworld without committing any sort of atrocities like our Hades did.
Well, that's a relief.
He did want to take over the cosmos, though, and did serve as the primary antagonist of the film.
Ah.
Disney's Hades is fast-talking, witty, and has a notoriously short temper.
Jeez!
You wouldn't mistake this Hades for another one, that's for sure.
So, what building blocks did Disney use to make their Hades?
Well, like our Hades, the main thing they kept was his job of presiding over the underworld, and then they added a bunch of other things.
And because they use different building blocks, that's why he's so different from our Hades, even if they originated from the same character, right?
Right. I'm glad you like my building blocks analogy so much, Pit.
That's because it's easy to understand. Watch. Hermes' role as a messenger of the gods and Icarus's, untimely fate served as building blocks to make me, as well as peppy protagonist and general hero things. As for you, Athena, wisdom, protecting humanity, and helpful video game guide are the blocks that made you up.
Alright.
And then, for Medusa, Athena and Medusa's rivalry in classical mythology is one of the blocks that make up your relationship with her. As well as Medusa is evil, and you want to protect humanity. These blocks serve as the main source of your conflict, and, I guess rivalry is a block of its own? Hatred, also?
This one seems to have gotten away from you.
Doing relationships is hard, okay?
Then why didn't you just do Medusa by herself?
I don't know!
Well, why don't you just move on? I do want to hear your thoughts about Pandora.
Okay, let's see. I guess she doesn't really have any blocks from classical mythology other than her name. I guess that's a block. And then fire and calamity and... Oh, do you think the fact that box of hers was full of a bunch of unspeakable horrors helped make our Pandora the goddess of calamity?
You might be onto something there.
Then that makes a block. And there's Pandora.
Good job.
And Hades is Lord of the Underworld, and evil, and annoying, and won't stop with the dumb nicknames. I hate having conversations with him.
Pit?
Did I mention I hate him? Anyway, each idea is a building block that's used to create something entirely new. Just like you said, Lady Palutena.
That's right. I'm glad you stuck around to listen to this.
Me too. I'm feeling a lot better now.
And thanks to all of you who watched this for coming too.
I hope you all learned as much as I did.
Bye!
Oh, one more thing. Huge shout out to these sites for helping Lady Palutena with her research. She couldn't have put this together without them. That's all. Bye for real now.